Hello and welcome to our session today. Competitive events offered by FCCLA, a national CTSO, provide today's family and consumer sciences students with valuable skills, knowledge, and insights. And like any competitive event, dedicated preparation can really set your competitors up for success. Realityworks FACS products can help prepare your students for competition while providing hands-on opportunities to practice important transferable career skills. The first competitive events we're going to discuss today are for the CTSO FCCLA. Now, the first thing we'd like to discuss, number one, is the STAR event for entrepreneurship. And we have a recommended tool. It's called the Contemporary Entrepreneurship Program. And this program is available in two formats, print and online. But you could use the supplemental program to help prepare students for this entrepreneurship event. We know that Generation Z students have a high interest in becoming an entrepreneur. And this program focuses on those basic entrepreneurship concepts. So students will learn how to be an entrepreneur. They come up with the idea, they conduct market research, they consider legal and financial issues, and they also write a complete business plan. And then it culminates with a product pitch day where your students will take their idea and create a 10-minute pitch deck, and then they will pitch it to a panel of local professionals. It's similar to Shark Tank. So this is available again in two formats and would make a great tool to help prepare for that CTSO event. Number two, the STAR event is career investigation. And the recommended tool here is our free career exploration lessons. And we have many different one-week career exploration units. And we have one specific to FACS and human services career exploration. And we think this would be a perfect complement to this career investigation event. This unit includes 5 lessons, and they are on a variety of FACS-related careers. And we also have a 5-lesson unit specific to human services careers as well. Number 3 STAR event that we want to mention is the focus on children. And we have 2 different recommended tools that we think can help your students prepare. First of all, we have our Shaken Baby Simulator, and we also have our Birth Defects and Disorder Model Set. Now, the RealCare Shaken Baby Simulator dramatically depicts the effects of an infant's brain from just a few seconds of shaking. And the simulator and the lessons that come with it were designed to help increase awareness of the dangers of shaken baby syndrome, as well as child abuse. And this is a powerful visual that could be used in something like a community event on child abuse prevention. The transparent head on it really clearly defines and shows the traumatic brain injuries caused by this form of child abuse. So when you do that simulation, it lights up as the brain is affected, and you can talk about how that happens, and no amount of shaking should ever happen, especially to a young child where it could have that abusive trauma to the head and the brain. Secondly, we have our Birth Defects and Disorder Model Set, and this will give your students an in-depth look at 6 different birth defects and disorders with our one-of-a-kind model set. So your students can get that hands-on experience exploring the physical effects of Down syndrome, spina bifida, cleft lip, anencephaly, clubfoot, and tetralogy of Fallot. And all of those different conditions and disorders are included in the lesson plans, and you can use these models for hands-on, pass around, take a closer look, and talk about the impact on children that any one of these conditions or disorders will have. Number 4, the STAR event here is focus on children yet again. And we have 2 additional Realityworks tools that we would like to recommend. First of all, we have our fetal alcohol syndrome mannequin, and we also have our drug-affected baby. Now, by emitting the cries and demonstrating the withdrawal tremors of a drug-affected infant, our RealCare drug-affected baby shows the potential impacts of drug abuse while pregnant. And by showing these physical effects of that prenatal exposure, it's going to show that the impact on what can happen. Similarly, with our fetal alcohol syndrome mannequin, it has anywhere from 10 to 12 different physical signs and symptoms that fetal alcohol syndrome and spectrum disorder can have on an infant. These have been around for close to 20 years, so many of you may already have these, but think about a new way to use these to help your students get prepared for that STAR event. These are very realistic infant simulators. They're powerful demonstrators and can really show what alcohol and substance abuse can do to infants in utero. Number 5, the STAR event that we'd like to focus on here is food innovations. And the recommended kit that we would like to recommend for preparing your students is our food truck design kit. And this will provide hands-on design experience for students tasked with building a food truck business. This interactive tool will allow your students optimal student interaction and learning while planning all aspects of a food truck business. It includes enough hands-on lab activities and lesson plans for roughly a 3-week unit, all about food truck entrepreneurship. It can also supplement any textbook or curricula you may already be using. So it's very easy to integrate into the program materials you may already be using. But some of those curriculum topics that it includes are marketing, budgeting, menu development, food costing, and all sorts of other things. So a great one for food innovations. Number 6, the STAR event here that we would like to make a connection with is interpersonal communications. And the recommended tool are our pathway scenario cards. And these pathway occupation-specific workplace scenario cards cover real-world situations in a variety of FACS career pathways. You can use these cards to develop soft skills such as communication within specific occupations through things like small group discussions, as a large group icebreaker, or even as an individual challenge. And these are great tools for generating discussions, reflection activities, all sorts of things. And the 5 that you see listed here are the ones that relate specifically to FACS content. Number 7, our STAR event here that we're focusing on is leadership. And appropriately, our recommended tool is our Leadership Soft Skills program. And you can use this comprehensive program either as a standalone course, or you can use it to supplement anything in your current program. But it will teach 18 different leadership soft skills, from conflict management and honesty to team building positivity. So it comes with 18 different lessons. Each lesson focuses on a different leadership soft skill, and students learn about the skill, they apply the skill, and then it also comes with some scenario cards to put your students in a workplace situation that focuses on that soft skill, and they're a leader and they have to decide how they would handle that scenario. Number 8, our STAR event here is nutrition and wellness. And our recommended tool for preparing your students is our food science and nutrition lab kit. And this unique kit will introduce your students to food science and nutrition concepts. It includes lab materials, student workbooks, and scenario cards and posters, as well as step-by-step lesson plans and instructions. And a few of the different activities and scenarios, topics included are career planning, food safety, introduction to nutrition. We have nutrition therapy, food technology, food science, dietetics and nutrition management, and food biology and chemistry. So with the lab activities in this kit, it would be a great way to integrate some of the nutrition and wellness knowledge and skills that would prepare your students for this STAR event. Number 9, our STAR event here is sports nutrition. And we have a recommended tool. It's our sports nutrition lab kit. And this lab kit, similar to the one before it, has NATA aligned lessons. And in those lessons, they'll teach students to learn all about nutrients, nutrition, body weight and composition, pre-game meal planning, food labels, and a whole lot more. So there's all sorts of interactive and engaging lab activities that your students will participate in, and things like meal planning, banned substance research, using nutrition to enhance performance. So we include everything that you need to do these lab activities, and there's enough things for multiple labs to do them simultaneously, but it's just a great way to get your students some foundational knowledge and skills, all in the area of sports nutrition. Number 10, the STAR event here is Teach or Train. Now, we like to explore careers in early childhood, elementary and secondary education, as well as others within the education and training career cluster. We know that there is a nationwide job shortage in many of these areas, and this Education and Training Career Exploration Kit includes a nice 1-week unit all about every pathway within that career cluster. So the program includes activity-based scenario cards and student workbooks. There are some posters, and then of course those lesson plans. But a few of the topics include careers in early childhood education, elementary education as a career, secondary education. It also will touch on administration and administrative support careers, and it will end up with professional support services careers. And we think that your students may have some aha moments as they work their way through this kit, because many of them just think elementary teacher, but they don't realize the wide breadth of occupations that are also available in the teaching and training career areas. So this could be a great little kit for you to use to get your students up and running for that STAR event. Number 11, our STAR event here is Culinary Math Management, and the recommended tool is our newest Culinary Math Training Kit. And in this kit, your students are going to review foundational math concepts, and it's also going to introduce them to some basic culinary math concepts as well. And this includes curricula, student workbooks, and it also includes access to some interactive online lessons. So you can choose to do instructor-led classes or even some self-paced learning online. But in either case, students will be learning basic math, and then they'll have some problems that they'll do. That's the application. And then they'll also learn some culinary math concepts such as kitchen measuring tools, converting standardized recipes, and calculating food costs. So a very flexible program, a lot of different ways you can use it, but the perfect tool to prepare your students for their culinary math management STAR event. Number 12, the STAR event here is early childhood education. And our recommended tool here is our Real Care Baby Infant Simulator. And we know that a Real Care Baby is the world's most advanced infant simulator. And we have educators around the world that use this unique simulator to teach early childhood, infant health lessons, and even some parenting skills. But this baby also adds meaning and accountability by using the wireless programming to track, report on behaviors, caregiver behaviors. So anything like care events, mishandle or abuse actions are all tracked. And then, excuse me, there are lessons that come with it, 4 separate sets of curricula, and there's tons of activities and things that can really put your students in the role of a early childhood career. It could be a teacher. It could even be someone that works with infants in social work or whatever. But they learn all sorts of infant caregiving skills. And these are transferable career skills that they could use if this is an area that they are very interested in. So great tool for that early childhood education STAR event. Number 13, we have is our public policy advocate. And we have 2 new kits here that focus on different types of abuse. Our first one is the elder abuse training kit. And we also have a child abuse training kit. Now, first of all, we'll focus on the elder abuse one, and it will introduce your students to 5 types of elder abuse. In this unique kit, it's going to address risk factors, how to identify and report abuse, and also how to prevent it if possible. And then we've also included some common skin condition wounds, if you will, on the physical abuse side, and these can be used in role playing. Makes it much more realistic, but we also have scenario cards, workbooks, curricula. Same or similar with child abuse. In that kit, your students will be introduced to 4 types of child abuse and neglect. Again, you're going to learn about the risk factors, how to identify and report this. And again, there are a set of wound models that you can put on pediatric or infant mannequins to create very realistic scenarios. And these types of kits will, while they're engaging, they're also highly effective and impactful, and your students are going to understand these terrible types of abuse in a new way. And we think these would be terrific to use as for advocating in making the public aware of these types of abuse and how to prevent it. So 2 new kits that would work very, very well for this STAR event. All right, number 14 is the skills demonstration event of culinary knife skills. And the recommended tool from us is our knife skills kit. And you can use the knife skills kit to create interactive situations or activities for up to 6 groups simultaneously. Comes with lesson plans and then materials that focus on proper cutting procedure and safety. So they include, these kits include cutting boards, finger guards, culinary cuts rulers, reference posters, modeling clay, and knife cuts models. The lessons, there are 3 different lessons. First one will focus on safe handling and storage of knives. Second lesson will get into the anatomy of knives, and then they put all of their knowledge to work applying them in a knife skills kitchen lab. So perfect tool to prepare your students for the culinary knife skills event. Number 15, another skills demonstration event, that is the Early Childhood Challenge. And our recommended tool for this is the CDA Scenario Kit. And this scenario kit uses interactive real-world childcare situations to prepare students, especially if you are offering the Child Development Associate, the CDA certification. However, even without that certification, students will learn and practice all sorts of skills that they'll need in childcare settings with this kit. It's a very robust kit. It includes 78 different scenarios, specifically 39 focus on infants and toddlers, and another 39 focus on preschool-aged children. And there are 3 scenarios for each of the 13 national CDA competency standards. So just very robust, a lot of good content. But if your students would work their way through the scenario kit, they will be very prepared for their skills demonstration and early childhood challenge. Another skills demonstration event is the interior design sketch event. And the tool that we recommend here is our Child Care Center Design Kit. And you can use this design kit to practice laying out the optimum learning environment for infants, toddlers, and preschool in a child care center. And the kit includes pieces representing the furniture. So there's scaled tiles that you can lay out, very hands-on and interactive. And there are common furniture that you would find in each of those 3 types of age group rooms in a child care center. Comes with curricula, also includes some child care career exploration. There's some guidelines and best practices for classroom design. And then you can go into the actual interior design of the infant, toddler, and preschool room design. And this would really lend itself nicely for the interior design sketch challenge. Our next skills demonstration event we would like to highlight is the interviewing skills event. And the tool that we recommend is our employability skills program. And this program currently comes in 2 formats now. One is a print-based and one is an online course. But in either case, both of them will cover the same content. You have 19 different lessons, 19 different soft skills are highlighted. Students will learn about them, they'll practice them, and one of those is interviewing skills. So there's a whole lesson specific to preparing for the interview and going through a mock interview. And you can use this whole program to supplement any existing employability skills you might be teaching. You could divide it into units on similar skills and teach mini units. You can generate some terrific real life discussions also based on the content. So this one has a lot of different ways you could use it to prepare your students for this event. Number 18, we've got a skill demonstration event at Science and Facts Challenge. And we think a really good tool for that could be our food safety kit. And our food safety kit covers basic food safety and handling techniques used in culinary occupations and at home. The curriculum will integrate hands-on activities and components for up to 6 small groups to be working on these activities simultaneously. So some of the lesson content and topics include basic food safety, foodborne illnesses, preventing foodborne illness outbreaks, temperature danger zone, preventing cross-contamination, and also exploring culinary and food services careers. So again, a lot of good content and activities to prepare students for this event. Number 19, our skill demonstration event here is a culinary math challenge. And similar to before, we would recommend our culinary math training kit. You take this kit and again, you review those foundational math concepts, and then you also get into some basic culinary math concepts as well. Anything to do with culinary math, when it's in any type of CTSO event, we think that this little kit will help your students prepare. Number 20, we have the skill demonstration event. It's a nutrition challenge, and we would like to highlight our tool, which is our food science and nutrition lab kit. This lab kit will introduce your students to basic food science and nutrition concepts, and they'll get all sorts of lab activities. They'll work through them, and there's workbook activities, scenario cards, and posters. But it also can be used to practice some soft skills because we have scenario cards built in as well. So if your students are looking for demonstrations in the nutrition challenge, we think that by participating in these lab activities, it will help get your students prepared. Number 21, LifeSmarts Knowledge Bowl, Health and Safety. We have two different recommended tools to prepare students for this. And the first one is our Infant Health and Safety Kit. And the second one is our Fetal Development Kit. So we'll highlight the first one, our Infant Health and Safety Kit. It's really an interactive package that will bring together our choking baby and our infant CPR mannequin. And it weaves in some interactive scenarios as well. And you can use these great tools to teach up to 50 different infant safety and first aid procedures. And upon completion, the workbooks that they get will be a great take-home manuals that detail each of the procedures that they've learned. So they address things like common infant and toddler safety issues, emergency response procedures, along with proper infant choking and CPR procedures. So terrific hands-on tools that can save lives. Now, the Fetal Development Kit will give your students an in-depth look at embryo and fetal development each stage of each month of gestation. Your students are going to be able to touch, feel, and examine a very detailed life-size model of each fetal development stage. And there's also lesson plans that go along with it so students understand what is developing and what's happening in each month. And just some really helpful foundational information that they can take and apply in the Health and Safety LifeSmarts Knowledge Bowl. Now we're going to move from FCCLA over to Educators Rising, and that's Educators Rising is a career and technical education movement that aims to inspire high school and college students to serve their communities by entering the field of education. So by establishing a pathway starting in high school, Educators Rising, they work with districts to cultivate the next generation of highly skilled educators through a Grow Your Own initiative. And this group also does offer some competition. So we are going to touch on just a few of these and again, share some resources that can help prepare your students. So the first one we'd like to highlight is their ethical dilemma, and our tool of focus is our education and training scenario cards. And this card pack aligns directly with the education and training career exploration kit that we have. You can use it in small groups. You can use it as a large group icebreaker, as well as individual challenges, but it covers 18 real-world scenarios and soft skills in education and training. And each of the scenarios presents an ethical dilemma in which students are called upon to problem solve in the role of an educator. So we think that this would work very, very well for this competitive event. Number 23, exploring education, administration, and support services careers. And the recommended tool here for preparation is our education and training career exploration kit. And if you remember earlier, we talked a little bit about this kit, but it does include a lesson specific to administrative support careers and administrative careers. And it will give your students a good idea of the breadth of occupational opportunities that there are. They'll learn about them, research them, and be able to ascertain if it's an area of interest for them. So a great little tool for tying into this CTSO competitive event. Number 24, we got job interview. And our recommended tool is our employability skills program and also our leadership soft skills program. Both of these programs are engaging, easy to implement programs that use hands-on activities as well as real-world applications to teach your students a variety of soft skills that will prepare them for job interviews. There's things like communication, interpersonal skills, time management, responsibility. Both of these are available in print format, but also available in an online course format if that works better. But either way, you can subject your students to a variety of soft skills in these lessons, and it will very much help them prepare for the job interview competitive event. Number 25, researching learning challenges. And the recommended tool for this is our elementary education scenario kit. And you can use this kit to introduce your students to unique scenarios relating to working with elementary students. So you can use it to prepare future elementary educators all about classroom management, lesson planning, teaching methodologies, and a whole lot more. Some of the curriculum content includes curriculum and instructional models, learning activities for developmental needs, integrated curriculum to support all learners, teaching methods to support all learners, positive classroom management, and activities, routines, and transitions. And it really takes a deep dive and puts your students into the role of an elementary educator. And they work their way through a day in the life, and it's very robust curriculum. And it will really give your students an idea of what it's like, what kinds of challenges and day-to-day things that they're going to run into as an elementary educator. Now, another CTSO that we want to highlight is Skills USA. And Skills USA has several competitive events that FACT students could participate in. Now, this is a very short list, but by no means exhaustive, but you can see how some of the resources that we shared for similar competitions with the other CTSOs could also be used for these that we've mentioned earlier. So we didn't want to forget our Skills USA friends. Now, we know that some FACS instructors are also involved with HOSA. And here are a dozen competitive events that align well with FACS content that's taught. For those FACS teachers that also wear a HOSA hat, here are a few suggested products that can help prepare your students for these HOSA competitive events. We have a couple of middle school specific ones, Foundations of Nutrition. Again, our Food Science and Nutrition Lab Kit would do a great job with that. And for Healthy Lifestyle, we recommend our Sports Nutrition Lab Kit. Moving up, we see secondary and post-secondary or collegiate testing. There is an event specific to leadership. And once again, we do recommend our leadership soft skills program is a perfect prep tool for working with students all about developing youth leadership. And then for health science events, we have that human growth and development, and the fetal development kit is just the perfect complement to prepare students for that. A few other HOSA competitive events that we would like to draw your attention to. There's some leadership specific events. There's organizational leadership. And we have a contemporary entrepreneurship program that teaches students how to think like an entrepreneur. They go through coming up with a concept and writing a business case and pitching it. But to do that takes some real leadership. And that's a great little program for that type of skill development. And then also for interviewing skills, our employability skills program has multiple lessons that will help your students gain things like communication and interviewing skills. There are some teamwork events that we'd like to also highlight in HOSA. One is health education, and we think our birth defects and disorder model set would be a really good tool to prepare for that. There is a community awareness event. And we mentioned our child abuse training kit and our elder abuse training kit earlier for a similar event for FCCLA. So again, it would work great for community awareness of types of abuse. Then there is a teamwork event called Creative Problem Solving, and our pathway scenario cards in health science. And then we have, I believe, 6 of them. Would be a very, very good source of problem solving practice for your students. So to learn more about all of the different CTSOs available, if you go to this URL, we've highlighted 3 or 4 different organizations, but there are more than just FCCLA, Skills USA, and HOSA that you may also be involved with, and you can see how some of our products like our employability skills, our leadership soft skills, entrepreneurship could be used in many, many different CTSOs. We have a few more things that we'd like to share before we take Q&A today. And we've got some free resources. First of all, we'd like to invite you to participate in some future webinars, just like today. We've got ongoing series of webinars every month. You can register and attend, or you can receive the recording if you cannot attend, but we always have a wide variety on many topic areas. So we invite you to check out our monthly schedule for webinars. Now, we also have free resources for your classroom at the following links. The first link has several posters and infographics, and the second link will give you access to several different guides with a few more free lesson plans, plus links to some soft skill lessons. So lots there for you to check out. A few other things we would like to call your attention to. We like to connect with you through our blog. We frequently have guest writers, product launches, trends, ideas for the classroom. So check that out. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter, where many times we have educators sharing ideas. We will share some best practices and things. So you can always check us out on our social media. So at this time, we have been monitoring the chat room, and we would take your questions at this time.